Lingue originali.
Se vi piace l'umorismo inglese, voi perché avete avuto già modo di apprezzarlo attraverso la letteratura, attraverso il cinema o la televisione, o se siete curiosi di scoprire cosa sia l'umorismo inglese, perché non avete mai letto o visto nulla, o non siete mai stati in Inghilterra, o se ci siete stati, come spesso accade a chi ci si reca per turismo, non avete avuto modo di entrare in rapporto diretto con persone che ve l'hanno fatto conoscere. La lettura degli scritti di Roald Dahl è sicuramente un buon modo, direi anche più che per iniziare. E le storie impreviste, in inglese Tales of the Unexpected, sono probabilmente l'elaborato, l'opera più iconici dell'umorismo inglese nell'interpretazione di Roald Dahl. Bentrovati da Dario Albertini, queste Lingue Originali, dove già da alcuni episodi a questa parte stiamo parlando proprio di Tales of the Unexpected, le storie impreviste, trovate in edizione italiana per Tea, leggendo anche qualcosa. Noi lo facciamo in lingua inglese con il nostro amico e lettore Marco Piovaz. Qualcuno ha scritto che i racconti di Roald Dahl sono dei perfetti meccanismi narrativi, ma ancor di più piccole bombe che esplodono immancabilmente in finali sorprendenti e spiazzanti. Nell'introduzione all'episodio precedente vi avevo detto che la stessa Camilla Cederna si era espressa in questi termini, lo ricordo. A chi piace lo humor inglese? Penso a molti. Allora non esitino a leggere queste storie impreviste in cui agiscono nel modo appunto più imprevisto nefande consorti, avidi pastori protestanti, nevropatiche oziose signorine offese, mariti gelosi che allora ricorrono a vendette e intrighi così straordinari che il lettore non può mai smettere di leggere. Questo ha detto Camilla Cederna. Delle storie impreviste, Tales of the Unexpected, stiamo leggendo con Marco Piovaz Il libraio, titolo originale The Bookseller, di cui subito vi propongo il quinto estratto. Buon ascolto.
Mr. Buggage was busy helping himself at the buffet when he heard a man's voice behind him saying, "Fiona, I don't think you've met Miss Smith-Swithin, and this is Lady Hedgecock." "How do you do? How do you do?" the voices said. Mr. Buggage glanced round at the speakers. There was a man and a woman in swimming clothes, and two elderly ladies wearing cotton dresses. Those names, he thought. I've heard those names before. I know I have. Smith-Swithin, Lady Hedgecock. He shrugged and continued to load food onto his plate. A few minutes later, he was sitting with Miss Tottle at a small table under a sun umbrella, and each of them was tucking into an immense half-lobsters. "Tell me, does the name Lady Hedgecock mean anything to you?" Mr. Buggage asked, talking with his mouth full. "Lady Hedgecock? She's one of our clients. Or she was. I never forgot names like that. Why?" "And what about Mrs. Smith-Swithin? Does that also ring a bell?" "It does, actually," Miss Tottle said. "Both of them do. Why do you ask that suddenly?" "Because both of them's here." "Good God! How do you know?" And what's more, my girl, they're together. They're chums. They're not? Oh, yes, they are. Mr. Buggage told her how he knew. There they are, he said, pointing with a fork whose prongs were yellow with mayonnaise. Those two fat old broads talking to the tall man and the woman. Miss Tottle stared fascinated. You know, she said, I've never actually seen a client of ours in the flesh before, not in all the years we've been in business. Nor me, Mr. Buggage said. One thing's for sure, I picked them right, didn't I? They're rolling in it, that's obvious. And they're stupid, that's even more obvious. Do you think it could be dangerous, Billy, the two of them knowing each other? It's a bloody queer coincidence, Mr. Buggage said, but I don't think it's dangerous. Neither of them ever going to say a word. That's the beauty of it. I guess you're right. The only possible danger, Mr. Buggage said, would be if they saw my name on the register. I got a very unusual name, just like theirs. It would ring bells at once. Guests don't see the register, Miss Tottle said. No, they don't, Mr. Buggage said. No one's ever going to bother us. They never has, and they never will. Amazing lobster, Miss Tottle said. Lobster is sex food, Mr. Buggage announced, eating more of it. You're thinking of oysters, lover. I am not thinking of oysters. Oysters is sex food too, but lobsters is stronger. A dish of lobsters can drive some people crazy. Like you, perhaps, she said, wriggling her rump in the chair. Maybe, Mr. Buggage said. We shall just have to wait and see about that, won't we, Pat? Yes, she said. It's a good thing they're so expensive, Mr. Buggage said. If every Tom, Dick and Harry could afford to buy them, the world would be full of sex maniacs. Keep eating it, she said. After lunch, the two of them went upstairs to their suite, where they cavorted clumsily on the huge bed for a brief period. Then they took a nap. And now they were in the private sitting room, and were wearing only dressing gowns over their nakedness. Mr. Buggage in a plum-coloured silk one, Miss Tottle in pastel pink and pale green. Mr. Buggage was reclining on the sofa with a copy of yesterday's Times on his lap and a who's who on the coffee table. Miss Tottle was at the writing desk with a hotel typewriter before her and a notebook in her hand. Both were again drinking champagne. This is a prime one, Mr. Buggage was saying. Sir Edward Leishman, got the lead obituary, chairman of aerodynamics engineering, one of our major industrialists, it says. Nice, Miss Tottle said. Make sure the wife's alive. Leaves a widow and 3 children, Mr. Buggage read out. And, wait a minute, in Who's Who it says recreations, walking and fishing, clubs, whites and the Reform. Address? Miss Tottle asked. The Red House, Andover, Wilts. How do you spell Leishman? Miss Tottle asked. Mr. Buggage spelled it. How much shall we go for? A lot, Mr. Buggage said. He was loaded. Try around 900. You want to sleep in the Complete Angler? It says he was a fisherman. Yes, first edition. 420 quid. You know the rest of it by heart. Bang it out quick. I got another good one to come. Miss Tottle put a sheet of notepaper into the typewriter, and very rapidly she began to type. She had done so many thousands of these letters over the years that she never had to pause for one word. She even knew how to compile the list of books so that it came out to around £900 or £350 or £520 or whatever. She could make it come out to any sum Mr. Baggage thought the client would stand. One of the secrets of this particular trade, as Mr. Baggage knew, was never to be too greedy. Never go over £1,000 with anyone, not even a famous millionaire. The letter, as Miss Tottle typed it, went like this: William Baggage, Rare Books, 27A, Charing Cross Road, London. Dear Lady Leishman, it is with very great regret that I trouble you at this tragic time of your bereavement, but regretfully I am left with no alternative in the circumstances. I had the pleasure of serving a late husband over a number of years, and my invoices were always sent to him care of White's Club, as indeed were many of the little parcels of books that he collected with such enthusiasm. He was always a prompt settler and a very pleasant gentleman to deal with. I am listing below his more recent purchases, those which, alas, he had ordered in more recent times before he passed away, and which were delivered to him in the usual manner. Perhaps I should explain to you that publications of this nature are often rare and can therefore be rather costly. Some are privately printed, some are actually banned in this country, and those are more costly still. Rest assured, dear madam, that I always conduct business in the strictest confidence. My own reputation over many years in the trade is the best guarantee of my discretion. When the bill is paid, that is the last you will hear of the matter, unless, of course, you happen to be able to lay hands on your late husband's collection of erotica, in which case I should be happy to make you an offer for it. The books. The Complete Angler, Isaac Walton, first edition, good clean copy, some rubbing of ages, rare, £420. Love in Furs, Leopold von Sacher-Masoch, 920 edition, slip cover, £75. Sexual Secrets, translation from Danish, £40. How to Pleasure Young Girls When You Are Over 60, illustrations, private printing from Parrish, £95. The Art of Punishment, the Cane, the Whip and the Lash, translated from German, banned in the UK, £115. Three Naughty Nuns, good clean edition, £60. Restrained Shackles and Silken Cords, illustrations, £80. Why Teenagers Prefer Old Men, illustrations, American, £90. The London Directory of Escorts and Hostesses, current edition, £20. Total now due, £995. Yours faithfully, William Baggage.
Tratto da The Bookseller, il libraio, a sua volta tratto da Le Storie Impreviste, Tales of the Unexpected di Roald Dahl, abbiamo appena ascoltato, dalla voce di Marco Piovaz, il quinto estratto. Vi ricordo che le storie impreviste le trovate tranquillamente in libreria, che sia una libreria fisica indipendente o di catena o una libreria online in edizione italiana, nella pubblicazione da parte di Tea. Questa è Lingue Originali, seconda edizione, inglese, tedesco, francese. 3 voci, quella di Marco Piovaz per la letteratura in lingua inglese, quella di Nadia Meroni per la letteratura in lingua tedesca, quella di Barbara Marchand per la letteratura in lingua francese. 3 voci, 3 introduzioni, le prime 2, quelle all'episodio dedicato alla letteratura in lingua inglese e quello dedicato alla letteratura in lingua tedesca, con Dario Albertini a presentare in italiano le opere che andiamo leggendo. E siamo alla conclusione di questa seconda stagione. Siamo partiti col primo episodio a ottobre, e andiamo a terminare fra 4 settimane, sempre con gli amici che vi ho detto, e poi probabilmente faremo una pausa, ma sempre tutti gli episodi, che vi ricordo escono il venerdì, il sabato e la domenica alle 22, li troverete sul podcast e sul canale YouTube di Caffè Italia. Alla prossima puntata.
Lingue originali.